To talk on this live about skincare mistakes that are costing you money, your patience, and probably your time. So while I'm going to go through my quick morning routine before I head out, let's talk about this because anything that costs me money is going to be something that I'm like, tell me more. Because the one thing I do not want to do is waste my money, especially on something that is meant to be working for me, is meant to be changing my life. Okay. So that's what we're talking about this morning. All right. I just finished doing my wash routine, and that's going to be the first thing we talk about. When you are spending too much money on your cleanser. So I use the CeraVe hydrating cleanser because I have very, very dry skin. And I think actually, here we have the Walgreens has a hydrating facial cleanser, and that is a dupe actually to the CeraVe hydrating liquid cleanser. Now, I've been using back and forth. I go from CeraVe to Walgreens, and honestly, I cannot tell the difference. So for me, spending a lot of money on cleansers is always going to be a problem in my wallet. You're not getting more, the whole point of a cleanser is to wash it down the drain. And if you're spending a lot of money, my daughter came to me the other day because TikTok, she's a teenager and she wanted money to buy a cleanser that was $40. And I said, absolutely not. You do not need a $40 cleanser. One, she's a teenager and there's nothing wrong with her skin right now. So there's nothing that she's adding to her face that is really worth that $40. She can use that on something else. So for me, having that cleanser, going ahead and paying all that money for a cleanser was just absolutely not worth it. Now, I use the hydrating cleanser because I have very dry skin. And if you are spending money on cleansers and not knowing your skin type, then you have an issue. Your skin type really is you need to know that skin type so you are not wasting that money. As I said, I have very dry skin, and you need something that's very gentle, doesn't strip the skin of any oils when you're using a cleanser. If you're paying money for a cleanser that is not meant for your skin type, you're wasting money. If you're spending too much money on your cleanser, you're wasting money. So if you have dry skin, look for something that just gentle enough that it literally goes on. It feels like, if you can feel it working because you're not feeling like, oh my gosh, my skin is really, really dry or tingling. And if you have oily skin, you may want something that suds up a little bit so the technology in the type of in that cleanser is working to kind of help break down the oil a little bit and remove it. So make sure that you're not overspending on your cleanser. Now, I think CeraVe could be a little expensive right now. It does work, but this Walgreens hydrating facial cleanser, if you have a Walgreens near you and you want to check it out, then this is definitely something to do. And for this one is mostly for the dry skin. They have for oily skin, which is going to be the foaming action that's going to happen to help, you feel like the oil is coming off your skin. So make sure you're checking that out when you're looking for your cleansers, okay? Because that is one of the biggest mistakes I see people making is, putting in a lot of money in a cleanser when in actuality, you're washing it down the drain. So tip one, check out, make sure that you are using the right cleanser and that you're not wasting your money. Good morning, Thrifting Atlanta. Hello, Trulia from India. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Ayana Peterson, the Thrifting Diva, and we are talking about some skincare mistakes that's going to be costing you money, time, your patience, if you're not doing this right. And the first thing is cleansers. Try to make sure that you are using the right cleansers for your skin type. You're not spending too much money, okay? All right, so I'm doing a quick morning routine. As I mentioned, I use the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser because I have dry skin. And then I go on with one of my absolute favorite products is the Good Molecules Niacinamide Brightening Toner. I This thing is amazing, amazing. And as for a person of color, it's like a little crack bottle. I mean, no, for me, it honestly is one of the best products out there for persons of color, but I think it could be used for anyone, to be honestly, because it is just absolutely, it's just pure perfection in a bottle. So if you have a place that you can get a Good Molecules, like Ulta, Target has it, and I think Amazon can get it to you. They may charge a little more. You may want to check out this Good Molecules Niacinamide Brightening Toner. Okay, cleanser should be mild yet effective. Exactly, CeraVe is a good choice. And thank you so much, Heart is 88. Yes, I correct my face part part of my skincare. I just can I This thing is just, it's so beautiful, especially after a cleanse. Okay, second skincare mistake that is definitely going to be costing you money is if you are not exfoliating. Now, I normally don't exfoliate in the mornings because I do that at night, okay? But when I do exfoliate, I do chemical exfoliation, which is only 2 to 3 times a week. Nothing more. We do not need to go crazy and do exfoliation every day. Now, what is exfoliation? If you're new to skincare, exfoliation is that process where you're able to speed up and do the process of removing the dead skin cells. Our skin cells turn over depending on our age, and I'm at 44, so it will turn over like every 40 to 50 days, and I get a new set of beautiful skin cell that almost makes you look like you're glowing again. The process of exfoliation speeds up that process so that you can get that turnover a little faster. Now, for some people, especially if you are watching a lot of TikToks and Instagram influencers and YouTube influencers, you would see that exfoliation is a big deal in the skincare routine. However, be careful of what you're using for exfoliation and how often you're doing it. Now, right now, I am using this for my exfoliation. So the exfoliation I'm using is Versed, and it is a instant resurfacing mask, is what it's called. Guys, this thing will make your skin like, you're like, holy cow. It definitely makes it pop. Trulia says, I have sensitive skin, so I never exfoliate. Rather, I use tretinoin for 2 years. Trulia, that is amazing. Know your skin, right? If your skin cannot handle both a tretinoin and a exfoliation, that's going to cost you money in the long run if you're doing both and your skin is having bad reactions to it. I can handle both, so I do this twice a week, and the days that I'm not using this, then I use my tretinoin. Can you share which sunscreen do you use every day? Yes, we'll get to that. So I'm using this twice a week. It is a really, really good product in the sense that it has lactic acid in there. It has lactic acid, it has glycolic acid, and I forgot the other one that it has in there. So there are 3 exfoliation products in there that's working to really help strip the skin of that old dead skin cell. However, as I said, you do not need to use this every day. And so when you start seeing the results, some people go ham and be like, oh my gosh, I got up the next day, my skin looks flawless, I'm going to use it again each night. 1 to 2 nights. And if your skin is sensitive, 1 night, and it's fine. We don't need to become gods on our skin and just break down a process that should take over 40 days when we're older to get that glow that we're looking for. It will happen. And so I've seen when people come talk to me and they're using this more often than they should, I tell them, I was like, hey, you need to scale back on your exfoliation because you're going to be just wasting your money in the end, because if you start doing this, the skin is going to get irritated. If you're a person of color and your skin gets irritated, then you're going to start seeing dark spots. If you start seeing dark spots, then you're going to also probably get the dry patches if you're, prone to dry skin and things of that nature. If you have dry skin, you could start breaking out again. And then the vicious cycle starts back, and then you're dumping more and more money. So let's slow down. We can always get that glow up with a mask, but we don't need to be using an exfoliation, every day. So this one I picked this one up at Target. It is a really good product. It is very inexpensive as well. And it will last you a long time because it is not meant to be used every day. How well, what does it do for sensitive skin? I would think it would do well if you're not overdoing it night shift. If you're using this over more than once or twice a week, you're overdoing it. Also, here's the mistake that people will do, is that they use this in the morning. Your exfoliation, it should be used at nights. And the reason being is because it also makes you super sensitive to the sun. So if you're using exfoliation in the morning and then going out, especially without a sunscreen, you're gonna wreck your skin. So use your exfoliation at night. And they tell you also, once a week, ideally at night. They tell you that, and then people still go ahead and do whatever they want in the day. So try to use this in the nights, because this is what's going to, you wake up the next morning, and I promise you, you're going to be like, it looks like though you went to, for a spa visit and got a facial. And I'll show you what it looks like. It's like a little jelly inside there. You put a little bit on, you leave it on for about a minute, and then you wash it off. I've had this bottle now for I've had it for about 2 months now, because I only use it at night and 1 to 2 times a week. Okay, you don't go ham. Don't go ham, because it's a big mistake that people make when they jump on the exfoliation train. Now, exfoliation is amazing, and once you get the hang of it, you will see, like, oh my goodness, the face looks amazing. But try not to overdo it. Okay, so this bottle that you can get at Target is where I picked this up, but it's very inexpensive, and it will last a while because you're not overdoing it. Okay, any questions on that one? Here's another one that is also another exfoliation. I don't like it as much as this one, guys. This one is my Walgreens dupe to the Glow mask, and this is the Watermelon AH mask. And the reason I don't like it as much, one, this thing is super watery, and if you haven't watched my videos on my Walgreens dupes, you should check it out. I talk about that because it's super watery. If you see, it is super watery, and so getting it onto the skin is a little bit of a pain. It does work, but this Mama Jamma, this is the one. This is the one if you're looking to spend some coins. Not a lot. I say coins, not dollars. This verse is the one. I think this is definite. This is about $19. I think this is like 21, but this is worth it, and this will last you a long time. And then if you, I think that's the one right now that I have. There's some other ones that I would recommend in a different video, but I'm just talking about skincare mistakes that are costing you your time, money, patience if you're using them wrong. And so quick recap, the first mistake was using the wrong cleanser, either too expensive or not the cleanser meant for your skin. The next one is this guy, over exfoliating or exfoliating in the mornings versus at nights. Try to keep exfoliation at night because that is when you want it to work best there. And then I'm gonna just leave it at 3 because I'm running late for work. Hope everyone is having an amazing day. And the last one, I'm gonna just talk about this every single time, is not using a sunscreen. That is one of the biggest skincare mistake out there if you are not using a sunscreen. If you are using any type of skincare products, And I need to hurry up and get dressed. Okay, so I left off with my toner. I'm going to put on this right now. I'm using this CoreRx Hyaluronic Acid Hydra Power Essence. And this is just for some extra moisture. As I said, my skin is drier in the winter. So this is just an extra layer for me to kind of get that moisture in there, locked in there. And so it's just a little essence. It's just a hyaluronic essence that, adds some moisture back. It's a moisture magnet. And then I top that. On top of that, I am going to add my, oh, it's snow day in Atlanta. Okay. Winter in full effect. Okay, so this is the vitamin C I'm working with this month. So this is Vitano C. It's a product I picked up in Japan, and jury's still out. I'm still working through, see if I see any marketable difference on this. But I will let you know at the end of this. I normally test for about 6 to 7 weeks if I notice any difference on it here. So that's what I'm doing right now. My vitamin C in the mornings, my exfoliation at nights, okay? All right, where were we? Okay, so last thing I was saying, the biggest mistake I see people making is not using sunscreen. Sunscreen is what, I talk about it a few times this week in these lives. If you haven't been checking out the lives before, I do them every morning while I'm getting dressed, so you could check out go into my channel and check out all the lives. But we'll talk about sunscreen a little more today. This is the one I'm using right now. I have a ton of sunscreen. I'm telling you, sunscreen is just, at this time, use the sunscreen that you would use, okay? As long as it's, I would say, SPF 30 and above, okay? I use 50. I use 30 as well. But if you're not using sunscreen for any product that you are using that you're spending a lot of money on, it's just you're literally wasting money on those products. For all those products to really work the magic that they're going to work, you have to be doing your part and adding sunscreen to them. They're not telling you, hey, use sunscreen plus, but if you're using an exfoliation and you're not using a sunscreen, then you're wasting your money. I'm just keeping it so real with you. If you're not buying if you're buying products and you're not buying a sunscreen to go hand in hand with it, you're wasting your money. The effectiveness of those products is not going to be the same if you're not using sunscreen. You are protecting yourself from aging, because sunscreen is definitely, those rays does age you. Think of a prune. You leave a prune out in the sun, it's going to wrinkle, it's going to look like it's going to age. That's some of those rays do that to our skin. We're not immune to that. And so that's why you need sunscreen. Do you think many products are needed for good skin? Diamond, and which sunscreen do you recommend? Stress makes us old too. Listen, it absolutely does, right? I mean, all of it is about health, and sometimes from the inside out as well. Do you need a lot of products for your skin? I don't think you have to. If you have really good skin and there's nothing really wrong with you, that there are no targeted areas that you're trying to fix on your skin, you don't need a lot of products. Technically, all you need is a good cleanser, a good moisturizer, and a sunscreen. 3 products. If at the end of the day they told me I could only have 3 products and that's it, I'm not getting anything else, then I think that's the products. However, if you're targeting certain things, then yes, the research has been shown that some of these ingredients, if you turn and learn the ingredients on the back of your skincare, you would know some of these ingredients have been tested and researched by medical research and experiments to show that they work for those targeted things. Things such as hyperpigmentation, especially for a person of color. That was one of my biggest issues going into trying to learn more about skincare. Was my skin was not even. I had dark spots everywhere, and I couldn't figure out how to, 1, to remove the dark spots, and 2, to stop it from coming until I learned the ingredients that's best for that. The other big problem I suffered with was really dry skin and the dark patches and stuff. And so doing certain things to my skin allowed me to really figure out how to get rid of those dry patches, how to stop them. And then more importantly, if I feel it coming, because as you said, stress can make us get up the next morning and there's a new pimple, or you get up and you're like, what the hell, why is my skin wreaking havoc on me? It could be stress, nothing you've done wrong, but stress doing it. But then how do I quickly fix it and put the balance back? Or lastly, if I've gone ham on a product and it's really not good for my skin, how do I get the balance back on my face and my barrier back to calming down my barrier, because now something has come into contact with it and it's just not agreeing with it. So for all these reasons, I do love skincare, and I love talking about, what I have seen that works, not work. And that is one of the best things about knowing about those ingredients, to know that when I'm being got and when I am getting something good out of that product. So that's why I would say yes, sometimes, yes, some of those extra products are needed, and for some people they are absolutely not. Okay, so now going back to our sunscreen, if you are using any type of products you're trying to tackle any major concern on your skin, and you are not using a sunscreen, then you are really, really doing yourself a disservice. You might as well throw those other products out. I'm just being real, because all of those products work better if you are doing this one last layer, and that's the sunscreen. So right now I am using the Naturium Dew Glow Moisturizer SPF 50. I really like this one, but so far what I have found is my Korean sunscreens have been my absolute favorite. The other one I have right here, I have a lot of sunscreen next hands reach. So there's never going to be a reason or a time when I'm not going to walk out the house without a sunscreen. So this one is the Black Girl sunscreen. Now, and I'm also never going to be spending too much on my sunscreen, because let's be real, I'm not spending $50 on a sunscreen. I see you, Goop. I'm not. Okay? So here we go. Black Girl sunscreen, affordable. This one's a little up there, but affordable, still in that affordable range, I would say. If you want super affordable, my husband, and if you want me to do a video on skincare for men, let me know. Send me an email if you have questions and you want me to do a video on a specific one, because once we are completed with the live, I'm unable to get to your comments or respond to your comments right away. But if you always want to you could always send me an email requesting a particular video or me review something. Now, the Trader Joe's, this is the one that my husband uses. This is Trader Joe's facial sunscreen, broad spectrum, SPF 40. And this one is the one that I have been able to get him to use every day, because, sometimes with men, it could be a little difficult for them to get into skincare. And so he's there now. He is there. So let me know if you want a little tips on how you can get your man into looking their greatest as well. And for them, less is best. Less is best. And he's down to the 3. He does his cleanser, he does his moisturizer, and he does his sunscreen. And I am super happy about that, because that's all he needs. Okay? But this one is only about $8. I think this one is about $10. This one is a little more expensive. This one is about $20. The Naturium. However, this one could be your moisturizer and your sunscreen. You do not need to have both. You don't need to have a moisturizer and a sunscreen. Using this one, it's one in the other. You can put it together. One tip here, if you have sunscreen in your makeup, that is not enough. If that's all you're using, sunscreen in your makeup, ladies, I'm just telling you now, that is not enough. And it's not going to work the same way that if you had a dedicated sunscreen step. Now, you can have both, a dedicated sunscreen step, and then you put on sunscreen makeup that has sunscreen. But a lot of times ladies tell me like, oh, I already have it in my makeup. Ma'am, no ma'am, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a dedicated step. However, a moisturizer sunscreen step, that could work, because that is the way they created that product is meant for coverage. Your makeup is not getting everywhere. And the biggest problem is The reason why it doesn't work is that you're not putting on the right amount. The amount of makeup that you're going to be putting on is not going to be enough for the sunscreen that is necessary for the coverage. Does that make sense? Let me try to break that down. When we put on makeup, we're not putting on, technically you're supposed to put on this amount. Like this is in here, like it's supposed to be a quarter spoon of sunscreen. That you're not putting on, I'm not thinking you're putting on that much in that makeup. So that's the reason why they say if you have sunscreen in your makeup, that is not enough for a dedicated step for the protection you're looking for. Okay, let's see. Let me jump back into these things. You've got a lot of knowledge. Hey, I'm not a dermatologist, but let me tell you, I love making sure that I'm an attorney, and that's my day job. But I love making sure that when I speak about something, I've researched it and know what the hell I'm talking about, and so that you don't have to do all of that. So make sure you're following the channel if this is something that you love and that you want to hear more about, because on our channel we talk about how to have a luxe lifestyle, to include the home, the fashion, the skincare, but without spending a lot of money. Peach Hop, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do a lot of content on how you can get your bathroom looking luxe and on a budget. So follow the channel. Thank you so much, Candace. Thanks for getting, Maria, you're most welcome. If you questions, send the questions in the emails. Love it. And I'll definitely try to get back to everyone. We need tips to getting our men. Okay, I will work on a video on that, and sign me up for helping him. Would love to have a live about that. Okay, thanks, Candace. Got that. Would you ever wear denim overalls? Woman. Okay, Anthony, love a denim overalls always. And Thrift the Runway. Hey, Dawn. Hi, thanks for jumping on. My email address is thriftingdivas@gmail.com, and you can also find the email on my channel page as well. Okay, so very quick overview quickly is 3 big mistakes that you are making in your skincare, but it's not only costing you your money, it might be costing you your patience because you're not seeing the effect of what you're trying to do. And the first one is using the wrong skincare, as we talked about. You just rewind if you want to catch what I talked about on that. The second one is overusing an exfoliation or using that exfoliator in the mornings. Exfoliations are great. They work. You're going to see the glow up immediately. Don't get confused though. They're not meant to be used every day. And they should also only be used ideally at night. And the last one is if you're doing any type of skincare and trying to fix any problems with your skin or trying to maintain that youthful glow, and you're not using a skincare, then you are wasting your money on all the other products, and you might as well stop. You might as well just wash your face with water and keep it going, which means it's not doing diddly for you if you're not using sunscreen. Best sunscreen out there is a sunscreen that you would use every day, one that you've loved using. And I can go through I can do a live on the different sunscreens and the different things that I like and don't like about them. This one right now, as I'm going to quickly put on my moisturizer. The moisturizer I'm using right now is the Walgreens dupe. I'm telling you guys, I'm all for not spending a lot of money, okay? I'm all for not spending a lot of money. And so Walgreens has a dupe to the Kiehl's moisturizer. And if you've heard of Kiehl's, you know they're a brand that's been around from the forevers, but they're super expensive. And I don't know why they're that expensive, honestly. But this is the dupe to their $40 moisturizer. It's $39. Plus tax is going to be over $40. And for me, if I'm using that every day, that means that's something that I'm going to run through really quickly. And I'm not about that. Nobody's about that. I mean, we're going through some economic challenges in life. I want my skin to look great. I don't need to spend all the money on it, though. And then the last step is my sunscreen, okay? And when we get to that point in place where we're like, you are bought in on why you should be using the sunscreen, you're going to get to that point where you're reapplying sunscreen. I'm not going to push that down your your throat right now. But I reapply sunscreen in the middle of the day because I sit in an office where I'm around, it's just all windows in my office. So middle of the day, black girl putting on extra sunscreen because I am trying to hold on to this look for as long as I can. And anti-aging is the truth for me. And this is the truth, okay? Sunscreen in general. All right, well, let me go before I am super late for work. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go ahead and hit like and comment and subscribe if you can to the channel. And if you want to see some other things, discussions that we've talked about during the week, go ahead and binge. Or you put me on in the background and binge on this because I love this and we're going to be talking more about this. I'm using what you've recommended for face wash and I love it. CeraVe, I've added their makeup remover, night cream, and sunscreen. Fantastic. I totally feel like I'm using the best. Absolutely, Dawn. Those are really good products and you're not spending too much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Well, until tomorrow, I'm here again. Tomorrow I'm going to probably be here at 8 o'clock because y'all, I need to sleep in. It's Saturday. Talk to you later. Bye.